In a stunning turn of events that's shaking global financial markets, the Iraqi dinar has reportedly surged to an unprecedented rate of $6.88, sending shockwaves across currency trading floors, investment communities, and geopolitical analysts worldwide. This figure, if confirmed, would mark one of the most dramatic revaluations of a national currency in modern history. And now, compounding the intensity of this story, leaked footage from inside a major U.S. redemption center appears to support speculation that a long-awaited currency reset may be quietly unfolding behind closed doors. The footage, which surfaced late last night on encrypted forums before spreading like wildfire through financial circles, reveals what appears to be high-level coordination inside a secure redemption center. Staff in formal attire can be seen handling bundles of high-denomination Iraqi dinars, verifying serial numbers, and scanning documents under biometric verification systems. Several private security personnel are also visible, suggesting that this operation is being conducted under strict oversight. While the source of the video remains anonymous and unverifiable at this time, the clarity and professionalism of the environment portrayed have raised serious questions about whether this leak is accidental or intentional. This latest development has added fuel to growing theories that something massive is underway behind the scenes in the global monetary system. Until recently, the Iraqi dinar traded under highly restricted conditions, often pegged artificially low due to past sanctions, oil dependency, and political instability. But in the last 48 hours, a whirlwind of unconfirmed reports and insider whispers have suggested that central banks in certain countries are recalibrating their reserves to reflect a new valuation of the dinar, potentially in line with Iraq's true oil wealth and strategic significance in the Middle East. If accurate, the $6.88 rate represents a complete reversal of decades of suppressed economic potential. It implies that Iraq has repositioned itself as a key financial player, potentially backed by a hybrid model of asset-backed currency infrastructure. What remains unclear is how this new valuation was reached, who is recognizing it officially, and whether this figure is part of a tiered rollout, where only select parties are currently seeing the updated rate. Reaction from global analysts has been swift, though largely cautious. Some dismiss the leak as fabricated, pointing to the lack of confirmation from the Central Bank of Iraq or major financial institutions. Others, however, are urging followers to watch the smoke before the fire, suggesting that high-level non-disclosure agreements are currently preventing full disclosure of the truth. One former U.S. Treasury advisor, speaking under condition of anonymity, stated that he's never seen this level of coordinated silence unless something extremely sensitive is in motion. Meanwhile, Iraqi news outlets have remained largely silent on the topic, with only a few low-traffic websites reporting currency stability measures from within the central bank. That silence is now being interpreted by many as deliberate. Sources in Baghdad report increased security activity around certain banking institutions and private government offices. There are even claims that several Iraqi officials have been flown overseas for emergency economic talks. Though again, these reports remain unconfirmed. Back in the United States, the leak has ignited intense debate within the currency holder community. For years, dinar holders have speculated on a massive revaluation event, often referred to as the RV, and the emergence of redemption centers was a key part of that narrative. With this new footage, believers in the RV theory are calling this the moment they've waited for, a real sign that the process is actively underway. However, skepticism remains high among institutional investors, many of whom consider dinar speculation to be fringe or conspiratorial. But even within those circles, the timing of the leak, coinciding with reports of quiet adjustments in certain forex indicators, has some reevaluating their stance. Notably, a former senior analyst at a London-based investment bank remarked that this kind of surge doesn't happen in a vacuum. He noted that even rumors of such a spike, if left unchallenged by global financial regulators, often precede realignment phases in the foreign exchange markets. One curious element that has fueled further intrigue is the nature of the redemption center itself. According to those familiar with the layout shown in the footage, the location bears a striking resemblance to facilities previously rumored to be prepared for handling large-scale currency exchanges during major financial resets. Security doors, counters with bulletproof glass, digital exchange rate displays, though turned off in the video, and backroom vaults suggest a level of preparedness that is not common in standard financial institutions. This alone has prompted many to question whether these centers are part of a much broader infrastructure quietly built in anticipation of a major global economic event. The White House has not commented on the leak or the rate jump. However, economic advisors close to the current administration have privately expressed concern about maintaining dollar stability should the dinar surge be recognized globally. Any significant revaluation of a petroleum-backed currency could trigger ripple effects across oil markets, trade balances, and debt obligations. The geopolitical implications are massive, especially if this development is being coordinated in tandem with other nations rumored to be adjusting their own currency structures. Across social media, speculation is running rampant. Hashtags related to the dinar, redemption centers, and currency reset theories have trended for hours. Telegram groups and private forums have lit up with screenshots, translated Iraqi documents, and personal testimonies claiming that appointment scheduling for redemptions is already underway in select regions. Some even claim to have received confidential instructions from financial advisors, though these claims are impossible to verify and should be approached with extreme caution. One detail drawing particular attention is a series of leaked spreadsheets, allegedly showing conversion tiers for multiple currency holders. According to the documents, rates vary depending on volume, origin, and disclosure agreements. If accurate, this would suggest a complex rollout system where not all dinar holders receive the same rate, a point that has already ignited heated debate among online communities. Critics argue this could lead to legal challenges or perceptions of favoritism, especially if major institutions are given access to high rates while retail holders are offered far less. Further complicating matters are whispers of non-disclosure agreements, or NDAs, reportedly being issued to individuals participating in early exchanges. Such agreements typically bind participants from discussing terms, timelines, or rates publicly, making confirmation difficult. But it's this very silence, some argue, that signals the authenticity of what's unfolding. Historically, similar patterns of limited leaks, rapid suppression, and widespread NDAs have preceded major financial transitions, though nothing of this magnitude has been confirmed before. International reaction remains muted so far, though sources suggest certain Asian and European central banks are monitoring developments closely. There's growing speculation that the dinar's revaluation may be linked to broader monetary realignments involving the BRICS nations, who have long voiced support for a multipolar financial system. If true, this could mark a key step in the global shift away from a strictly dollar-dominated reserve system. As the story continues to evolve, questions abound. Is this the beginning of a global currency reset, long whispered about but never officially acknowledged? Has Iraq finally emerged from decades of economic suppression to reclaim its financial sovereignty on the world stage? And perhaps most importantly, why now? In the absence of official confirmation, the world is left to piece together clues from a growing web of leaks, whispers, and circumstantial signals. What is clear, however, is that something extraordinary is happening. Markets, governments, and investors will be watching every development with intense scrutiny. If the $6.88 rate holds or spreads beyond limited tiers, we could be on the brink of a financial shift unlike anything seen in recent history. As always, this report is based on currently circulating information and should not be interpreted as financial advice. Many of the developments remain speculative and unverified, and markets can move based on perception as much as fact. However, the emergence of high-level documentation, the professionalism of the redemption center footage, and the eerie silence from official channels suggest that this is not just another rumor. This could be the real thing. Stay alert, stay informed, and keep watching.